Welcome back to another episode of the Nintendo Rewind. My name is Cody Christian, and I'm joined by my beautiful, voluptuous, sexy co-host, Chris Becker. We're rewinding and recapping. I'm gonna dare. I dare. We're gonna rewind and recap last week for Nintendo about the Pokemon Presents. But before we dive in, Christopher, how's it going, my friend?
I'll tell you what. It was going well until about 5 minutes before the show started. Listen, first let me ask you, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I was doing better until like 30 seconds ago when you were about to air out our dirty laundry, our pre-show dirty laundry.
Yeah. Well, here's what happened. It was it was like between us talking, and then on top of that, there was, I got a completely, how would you describe it? What's the word?
Idris Elba from The Office.
No, that was Stanley. I was looking for the name Stanley.
You're gonna recap the Pokemon Presents. What will you do after that? 30 seconds.
Yeah. So, that's what it was. It was like this unhinged Instagram reel that I got. Made me sick to my stomach. And then
I wonder who would send you one of those.
Yeah.
Who could possibly send you Instagram reels?
So that happened. And then you asked me.
No, listen. There's more to it. Why?
I'll set it up.
Okay.
And then you can defend yourself.
You're telling me about your mother.
Yes. And she's on the piano, right? Her ashes. And there was like these little capsules. And my dad was going to put some of her ashes in them, in like each one to give to like all of the kids, right? And I tell you this, and what did you ask me?
Your exact words were, my mother's sitting on the piano, and there's some capsules for people to take. That was exactly how you described it. And the question I asked, because I didn't know what it was, do they just like take the caps? Like you take?
Said, are you going to eat them?
You going to eat the capsules? Because I thought you were talking about medication.
Well, why would I be talking about medication?
Capsules. That's what I did. I'm sorry.
Golly.
And the only thing I could think of was that My Strange Addiction episode where that one lady's addicted to eating her dead husband's ashes.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
Like we're microdosing Chris's mom?
Yeah.
Listen, there are better ways to be able to take her with you than to ingest her. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah. Also, Sierra did show me that. It was
Oh,
ridiculous.
She showed you that My Strange Addiction where that lady accidentally got some dust of her husband on her fingers?
No, the unhinged Instagram reel.
I mean, that's fair. That's a difficult addiction to have.
I'll show it to you after this.
You can send it to me now. We can do a live reaction.
Okay. I'll send it to you
do
right
a
now.
live reaction. I'll look at it right now.
Okay.
But that's a difficult addiction to have because what do you do when you run out, says Susie. I mean, what do you do when you run out? Do you just like go and get more? Where did you send it?
You become a serial killer. I'm sending it to the Discord. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
She said she showed it to you.
When did she show it to me?
I don't know.
Stay away from my mom. You just go find other mothers.
All right, there it is. You can click on it.
All right, I'm gonna click on it. I'm not sharing it with the rest of the chat.
She showed you the My Strange.
Oh my god! Okay. Oh my god, that is. Yeah, I don't know why I stayed around for a second. Go at it. What in the world is wrong with me? Why did you send that to Chris right before the stream?
Right before the stream, she's like, you know what? I think you would like to watch this. And then I watched it like 4 or 5 times, and then
I watched it 7 times. Anyway, hope everyone's had a happy Nintendo week.
And then I watched it twice again right before I sent it to you.
Oh man, on accident or intentionally?
Well, it's already on. You know, I had to get the link.
I changed the channel. I changed the channel. Oh my gosh. Anyway, Pokemon Presents. Nobody should watch that. That poor man just turned he gave his leg an additional joint. Is what we're saying here. And don't
had a happy Nintendo week.
Oh my gosh, that is.
Let me ask you something. Did you eat anything good this week?
This week, I did have some good stuff this week. So my sister was in over the weekend. We made more fudge.
She was. I didn't know. Yeah.
And because that's kind of like when she comes over, my wife and her candy fudge, and it's my idea to do fudge, and then they do it, and it's awesome. Like, it was such a good. This is a nice symbiotic relationship that we have going on here. So,
Sierra, please stop sending it to people.
They made no, Sierra. But we did cookies and cream fudge, and then right after we ate that entire tray in like one night, because that stuff was addictively good. Like, it was like eating good. Yeah. It was like eating a Hershey's cookies and cream bar. Like, it was that good. Like, it was that good, just in more of it.
Wait. You reminded me. Let me ask you something. Would you call vanilla ice cream white chocolate?
No, it's vanilla.
No, but would you call it basically white chocolate?
They're a very different flavor profile.
Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead.
But then after that, Sierra decided to get some stuff to do Tiger Stripe fudge. I'm still working on that. It's a little bit harder to eat because the semi-sweet chocolate chips that were in it hardened a lot more than the peanut butter fudge that's mixed in it too. It's still really good. Yeah. It's still really good.
Peanut butter, and your sister doesn't like peanut butter.
No, she doesn't. It's not her jam.
So I thought it was odd that she was making it.
It was nice that she made it. She was thinking of me. That was very kind of her.
She was thinking of you, yes. And that's why you still have some, because she didn't enjoy it.
Oh, she would have taken the rest of it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying if it was good, you all would have eaten it like the cookies and cream one.
It's just that, no, it is good. It's just harder to eat all at one go because it's so much richer too. Like, it's a very rich flavor. Is that like penance for spreading around weird ass eating videos?
Go away.
Anyway, but no, it was really, really good. Like, it's genuinely good. She's gonna be mad at you. I hope you know, like, once we finish up this stream, you're going to get an angry text, or you may have already gotten it. Who knows? I mean, it could be in the live chat. So how did we ruin your night? We made it better, Susie. You stop it right now in the live chat. You get to be happy about it. It was good. It was good. But those are the 2 best things I ate. And then, that being said, we've got a good week of TV ahead of us too. Daredevil, shout outs to Daredevil, started like 40 minutes ago. We've been doing pre-show and prepping the show, and now we got to do the show. We're going to speed run this show, right? We got to get to Daredevil.
Yeah, we got to get to Daredevil.
What about you? Did you eat anything good?
Did I eat anything good? Yeah, I ate, so I cut up some like chicken tenderloins, and then cooked it up in a pan. Well, no, first I let it marinate in some buffalo sauce, and then I can't kill you if I had to. And let it marinate, and then I cooked it in the pan. Then I put it on a bun. and I didn't have any Doritos, so I couldn't make an authentic cruncher. So I put Hers Ripple potato chips. Have you ever had Hers?
I have had Hers. Hers is good.
Make Hers yours. You know what
Make
I'm saying?
Hers his.
Pardon?
Make Hers his.
All right, yeah.
I don't know if that's what we're supposed to be doing. Where'd you learn about crunchers from, Christopher?
Listen, Sierra taught me a lot.
Buzz Lightyear stamp Pokemon Chaotic.
I should spare.
Listen,
Buzz Light-
Chaotic, don't rewind the beginning portion of this show unless you want to see a live reaction to a man snapping his leg in half. I didn't show it on stream. I'm not going to get demonetized that way.
but I'll send you the link. Sierra's got it
no,
if you
stop.
want.
We aren't spreading this.
Listen, if you want it, Sierra's got
You
it.
also missed me misunderstanding that I thought Chris was eating his mother in capsules. But you know, it's fine. It's fine.
I'll send it. Sierra doesn't mind. Just put it in the chat.
Oh my
Sierra.
gosh, Chris, we got show to get to. And
Okay, sure.
Can I ask you a question before we do that?
Listen, if this is about eating my mother, I'm gonna be annoyed.
It's
but
not.
sure.
Why would it be about eating your mother? You know,
Why would it? You know, that's what I thought
here's the
earlier
thing.
today before you said it.
I don't think we should eat your mother. We should definitely thank your mother, and we should also thank our generous supporters over at
Keep going.
from NintendoRewind.com. If you'd like to directly support our content, guide what we're discussing, and get exclusive videos that won't be uploaded to our YouTube channel, you can sign up to become a member. Plus, you get some merch discounts, and every dollar spent on our merch also helps us continue to produce this show. There's even a tier that only costs $1 a month, and with it, you get a shout out. That said, I want to thank our members, Calamity Nolan, Sierra Christian, and Shiny Bird for all their gracious support. Now we're going to get back to the actual topic of this show. It's Pokemon Presents Recap time, baby. If you guys watched it, I'm sorry you wasted 20 minutes of your life, but here we are talking about it, and you're going to waste another, hour on it. But there was quite a bit of stuff that was announced, and a couple of really cool looks at some stuff that is coming out. I had personally, I had a pretty negative reaction to this presents, because it wasn't anything that was like crazy awesome. It wasn't awful. It was just kind of meh. You know what I mean? There was one thing that I accidentally leaked on last week's episode that you can go and watch that didn't even make an appearance, known as Pokemon Synapse. And I was kind of surprised with all the footage that I was seeing cropping up about that. How did you feel about that missing piece of entertainment?
That's what I thought, because we got this Champions we'll get to, but this was the one that was supposed to be like Splatoon, and then just ended up not being there, and I was like, I was ready for it, and then it wasn't there, and I was like, oh wait, so now we're getting this? So now we're gonna have Unite this plus then this other Splatoon type game? Like, when is it gonna come out, if ever?
I think that is a fair question. I'm interested in that. I'm probably more interested in that than the other game that you just mentioned that they did tease. That is a new portion of their IP, which again we'll get to a little bit later on in the episode. But it was early in the morning, not super early for the East Coast, but well early for the West Coasters at 6 a.m. And I can tell you for sure, like, I would have been pretty upset if I was all like super hyped and then got up super early to watch that and thinking it was Nintendo Direct levels of cool. And it really, really wasn't, in IMO. But it also wasn't the worst. It was just below average. What kind of rating on a F to A scale would you give that last
D
present?
minus.
Oh, D minus. See, I was thinking C minus. And then you said D minus, and I was like, D plus. So, like, I'm kind of you swayed me. You swayed me to go down a little bit. So, But there were a couple of things that were included in there that did not get any kind of coverage that was important enough to merit it. And Pokemon Go is getting an Unova tour. There's a global event that's kicking off in March. Legendary Pokemon Black Kyurem and White Kyurem will appear in raid battles and elsewhere in Pokemon Go. And you'll also have a chance to encounter Victini and Shiny Meloetta. Jante Meloetta. A new season begins in-game on March 4th that features the arrival of Cubfu and Urshifu, and don't miss the promo code revealed during the Pokemon Presents that grants you a chance to encounter a Pokemon of your choice from that selection. This was the one thing they didn't have like a trailer for. They just kind of talked about the event. And that intrigues me, first off, because clearly that game has made the money to be able to produce something, right? Like they could have done a video for it, like anything, not just chatted about it. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, it's Pokemon Go. It's not something that necessarily gets me the most hype, but it is something that is on there that like people do get excited for. And the Unova region in particular is an interesting region because it feels like they've kind of mostly forgotten about Black and White 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because we haven't gotten a remake of that one. They still continue to push Pokemon surrounding IP out about it, but not anything mainline remakey style. So, are you excited for Pokemon Go? Is that something that you are still doing? Who in 2025 is still playing Pokemon Go? Let me just ask that.
Great question. Not me. I'm not even playing that. Whatever that dumb card game is. What's that?
Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Pokemon, yeah. I was like, oh, they stopped giving me notifications, and it turns out it was because I like went to like load it up after the latest update or whatever. I clicked on it, and I clicked on the link, and I was like, I'll just so I clicked on the link or the app, and then it was like, oh, you need to install like an update to even be able to play it.
Oh, and it's always massive.
Yeah.
Because they can't
like,
update through the App Store for some reason. They have to send the update directly to the phone first. Like straight to the app.
Yeah, and so I just haven't even.
There's always something new going on with that game that requires a full-on 25 megabyte update for some random reason. It's frustrating. Netis does bring up a good point. I never played Pokemon Go to the polls because I don't need Niantic to sell my location data to the lowest bidder. Which I've heard, rumor has it, they are looking to sell the Pokemon Go franchise to somebody else. I don't know what else Niantic's going to do, so lowest bidder.
Yeah. I mean, if you use any sort of, if you ever use the map function on your phone, they're doing it, so.
Yep. There's no getting away from the internet. Listen, print MapQuest maps. That's the only way you're hiding. And even then, they'll know your home location, so you're screwed. Yeah. And just assume that my data is long gone, and they can have. That's where I'm at with it too. Like for the most part, I played Pokemon Go back when it launched, and it was okay. Like, it wasn't my jam. I had a good time for the first 3 weeks of the game being out, and that was fine. That was totally fine. That was enough for me. It was enough to make me realize I'm not Team Mystic enough for this game.
I don't know that I would ever. Have you even played it?
At the very beginning, I did it for like literally 2-3 weeks. The wife and I would go for walks. We lived kind of close to a park. I lived right next door to an Arby's that became a Pokemon gym. I was the gym trainer at the Arby's, or the gym leader at the Arby's for a little while, for those first 3 weeks, and then it just wasn't my thing. Have you even played it?
I played it a lot when it first came out. A lot. I played it a lot. When did it first come out?
Oh my god, I can't even remember. Pokemon Go launch date. Let's go look that up. 2016, July 6th.
So that's when. So it is okay. So it came out like.
Susie.
Uh,
Definitely not Chris's mom. They make him out of Pokemon.
the what?
I'm just reading the live chat. Susie says you don't want to know what Pokemon they make the roast beef sandwiches out of at the Harvey's. I said, not Chris's mom.
Okay,
Throwback to the intro.
That was a great joke, great mom jokes. The
Sorry. Am I too much tonight?
2016, please. I'm trying to focus here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the 2016, that's when I had my thyroid cancer. So I was walking a lot.
Mm-hmm. Taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Gave you a reason to go out the doors and catch some Pokemons.
Yeah.
Were you the very best, like no one ever was?
Yeah, I definitely did a lot of walking, a lot of throwing Pokeballs. I did a lot of that. Yeah, because that's right, I forgot I had that thyroid thing, and I was in the middle of getting a divorce. So it was
Man,
quite
that's
the
a
time.
crappy year. Holy crap!
It was a pretty fun year. Yeah.
And here we are
it went
talking
pretty
about
well.
Arby's and the
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at
I'm
Arby's,
feeling horrible right now. I'm gonna be honest. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
We also had the Pokemon TCG Pocket Mega Evolution series got announced. For those of you guys who don't know, Pokemon TCG Pocket is a trading card game that is available digitally on phones. You can collect all the things that you could possibly collect in terms of Pokemon cards. The cool thing here that they did announce off of that is that they are doing Mega Evolutions for it. So if you're familiar with the Mega Evolutions that are in the actual Pokemon games, and later on in the actual Pokemon trading card games, you can see in this teaser trailer they're going to be doing some Mega Evolutions. Does that get your jimmies going? Are you going to open up Pokemon TCG Pocket again for Mega Lucario EX?
When do they come?
That's a good question.
Isn't it June?
I think
that when it
so. I think so.
Oh wait, no, June
It definitely
is,
wasn't with the
is ranked, right?
Yes, June is ranked. My apologies. You're right. June is ranked.
Just sometime in 2025. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They didn't put like an actual date on it.
I used to like opening the packs, but the problem is I just kept getting all the same cards and wasn't getting any new ones. So then I was like, I'm done doing this.
I understand.
So I just didn't do it. And then, but in terms of, yeah, because I think the new set came out on Friday, right? So
It did. Same day as the Pokemon Presents.
So I like loaded it up to do that, and then there was like, there's a big update, and then it updated it. I closed it, haven't opened it. So.
Why do they keep doing that? Why does the Pokemon Company keep sending the updates directly to the phones instead of just updating overnight in the App Store? What in the world is going on? But yeah, Triumphant Light launched. I think it features like 150 new cards, something along those lines, which is cool. It was available Friday, February 28th.
I still haven't got all the first set.
Well, the good news is they gave 3 packs. If you do decide to update it, they gave 3 packs for you to be able to open
I think that's
of the
why
first sets.
I got it, right?
Do what?
I think that's why I downloaded it. I was like, oh, they gave us something free. Let me check it out at least. And then, so we could talk about it. And then I just didn't even bother.
It's not really a big enough bribe to get me to play your Infernal TCG again, Pokemon. Well, listen, it's all those packs are guaranteed to include at least 1 card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. So is that bigger? Is that better? Will that get you to go for it, Susie? We'll wait for Susie in chat to respond.
Yeah, we'll wait for a response.
No. Okay, there's the response. She says no, lol. So, just so you know, that's still not enough. I don't know. Like, it was fine. Like, I didn't get anything cool out of those. I was already Pokedex complete on the very first 3 sets. I was done with those. I didn't finish the new ones. I shouldn't have answered. We would have had like 30 minutes of silence. That would have been hilarious. But that being said, there are some new missions that are available. We look forward to ranked matches arriving in game at the end of March, actually. So ranked matches arriving in game at the end of March, not June. And they did not put a date on the Mega Evolutions as far as that goes either. They didn't put a date on that. They just revealed it, which was cool. That was cool. The big ticket item on this list, though, the very, very big one, was the actual extended look at Pokemon Legends Z to A. Chris, did anything stick out in this for you that you were excited for?
Yeah. Couple of things stood out to me. One, all the different areas of the city all kind of just look the same. It just looks like all one environment, like all the same. It doesn't really look like, it's not like Mario when you go from, oh, here's the ice area, here's the desert area. But I mean, I understand it's just the city. But the combat,
because there are going to be other areas that are outside of that too, right? Like regions that are ice region, desert region, whatever, on the pizza slices.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there will be more to it. I think the combat, I liked the combat. Pokemon Legends Arceus might have been, it kind of gave me like the dopamine I would get from like, oh, you need to catch like 10 of this Pokemon, 10 of this one, 10 of that one. Like, so I was just constantly just throwing Pokeballs at all of them, not even really paying attention. So I like the idea of being able to go and do that here again.
Right. It's kind of got that whole Mario Odyssey vibes of, ooh, piece of candy, kind of, you're literally snagging a moon all the time in Mario Odyssey. There's not really a whole lot of downtime in between that. And that was kind of the way Pokemon Legends Arceus was, where there's always a new Pokemon to throw a Pokeball at, and it will always give you benefit to do so.
Yeah, it's like Crackdown when they had all those bits, the things, the orbs that you would pick up. But then I also like the way the combat looks improved compared to Arceus too.
Yes, the combat is actually super cool because you've got this whole like location-based dynamic to it. That's the thing that's really cool to me, is it reminds me a lot more of the show kind of, because like that was the one thing, like when I was playing Pokemon growing up, I was like, man, I wish I could make my Pokemon move out of the way of this attack that is very clear is about to happen. That's so stupid that I can't be like, move, Pikachu. Like, it's literally just like, all right, we'll stand there and get solar blasted in the face.
I think people complained about like, oh, look at the wall textures or whatever, but I think it looks better. It looks pretty good. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I didn't expect it to come late. I thought it'd be like the middle. I thought it'd be like June, July.
Right.
I thought it'd be coming out right around the time as Tony Hawk 3 and 4, but instead, late 2025. That's probably October, November.
It will probably be their holiday game. Yeah. So November most likely, because Pokemon likes releasing things in November. But I mean,
they have no problem. They have no problem releasing that in November, even if Nintendo's releasing a game in November too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally different company. It's not Nintendo as much as it is Nintendo. It's not Nintendo.
It's a third of Nintendo.
Yep, which is crazy. It's crazy to think about. The thing I really like about this in particular is that you get 2 Gen 2 starters, which is some of my favorite. Which one are you going to be rolling with, Chikorita or Totodile? So you're not going to say Tepig. No one's picking that pig.
I'm picking the pig. Yeah.
Are you really picking the pig?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you when you got Totodile who turns into Feraligatr, bro?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I kind of like the idea of that, but I also like Emboar.
Yeah, for the longest time I wanted to call him Warboar, and I know that's not right, but this is what I was going to call him. It's Warboar. But you're right, it is Emboar. I don't like. I'm just kind of mixed on it in some ways. Like, yeah. It is cool to see them bringing back the Mega Evolutions. I will say that much. Mega Evolutions are playing a big part in this game. I don't 100% love the way the city looks. It looks like it was, and I'm not trying to insult it or dunk on Pokemon any more than they've already dunked on themselves, right? But it kind of looks like a 3DS game still yet. Is the biggest problem. Like, it looks, Susie's not exactly wrong where it is a Wii looking game. Like, it kind of looks like it was made for the Wii. I'm going to withhold my judgment because regardless of what a game looks like, I'm not all about graphics. Like, that's not, I mean, if you've ever been over at my channel, you know I play retro games all the time. Like, I don't care what the graphics are like as long as the gameplay is, like, superb. And that's the thing that I'm going to withhold my judgment on is Legends Z to A gonna be something that we like talk about for years, like we do with Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I still really liked this many years out? Or is it going to be something that's a flash in the pan that we forget? Netis mentions in the live chat, I'm tired of games for people with fired dopamine receptors. And I totally get that. I understand that standpoint of you need that constant hit of dopamine. And the reward oftentimes is something that is almost not important anymore, you know? Because, like, go catch 100 Bidoof to complete the Pokedex. Like, at that point, it's just a grind. It's a boring grind. There's no point in catching Bidoof. But when you have something that's like, go and do this gym, and it's actually a challenging gym in Pokemon, that is a big change that I hope that they understand there's a big difference and there needs to be a worthwhile reward, and it doesn't need to just be a constant grind because it's like that ooh piece of candy kind of aspect that I was talking about.
Yeah,
no, Netis, it hasn't. Not really. Except for when I was 10. And maybe Netis in live chat says, has that ever happened about it being a challenging gym? And maybe I'm holding it to too high a standard and expecting Pokemon to age with me. Am I just... I didn't realize that we were going to get to an existential question here, Chris, but do you think we're just too old for Pokemon now?
Your life.
Your life, too. Are we too old for Pokemon?
Well, I mean, it is a kid's game. And you can tell that they are just making the same game over and over again, just with, I mean, well, this is different.
Yeah, this is slightly different. It is Arceus 2, though, Electric Boogaloo.
But yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing easy games, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing a whole series of them this month. I
don't know. I was watching some people struggle with Super Mario Bros. 3. I was like, man, you guys are really having a hard time today.
Well, you know, some people have a hard time tying their shoe too, but
I guess I should stop being so judgy. You're right. Oh man.
But yeah, no, I definitely do think there's like an audience that they're going for, but then at the same time, I mean, there's plenty of, you know, games that you can like that are intended for kids, which are a lot of them, the Nintendo games.
It's just that oftentimes, like Nintendo games, what you're about to say, Nintendo games have a broader appeal. They do have a difficulty curve that feels good, whereas Pokemon really hasn't had that difficulty curve. It hasn't grown with me in the same sense.
Yeah, because like Mario Odyssey is like the first game Flynn ever beat, and so he would have beat that in 2017. So yeah, he would have been like maybe 4 or 5, but he did it with how they have the assist mode on,
Mm-hmm.
and then with like Mario Kart, they do stuff like they could make them harder, and then just have the accessibility options in there.
I just don't know if we're the intended audience anymore is the biggest thing.
Right.
And maybe that's just me going, hey, they haven't aged up with me.
Right.
And I have different interests, and if I really want a hard JRPG, I'll go find something like Persona or Metaphor ReFantazio or something like that. But
Shout out
it's
to
just
it.
not quite the same as Pokemon. Pokemon does have an appeal to it that is, it is transcendent. Like, it's cool catching all these iconic little cute monsters and having them be your 6 friends that you take all the way to the end of the game.
Right.
But that is, again, in the live chat, Pokemon specifically is frustrating because there's an incredible amount of depth to the gameplay that's completely ignored by Game Freak, and there is. Like,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Like with all the stuff with like the breeding, and they got the IVs and the EVs and yeah.
The 7-star Terra raids, I will absolutely say all the time, the Black Crystal Terra raids, 100% the best parts of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because you actually have to strategize, even if you're playing by yourself. And if you're playing with 4 friends, God help you, you better hope that they strategized or you know who you're playing with. One of the two. Like, those are actually challenging until you crack the code is the biggest problem. But like, I don't know. I really hope. It would be nice to see something along the lines of Pokemon Black and White or Pokemon Colosseum, Gale of Darkness, whatever sideline Pokemon game that actually had a difficulty curve. It would be nice to see that kind of hit again. And that's why I put it as my wild card last week. It didn't happen. Obviously, we didn't get Pokemon Colosseum remake, but it was a hope. I would have liked to have seen it. But I don't know. That's kind of my existential question. Are we too old for Pokemon now? How do you feel about it is probably a more important question, because I've told everyone how I feel about it now.
What, Pokemon in general or this game specifically?
The mainline game series.
Yeah. I mean, I still have no problem going back and playing the old ones. Here's the problem. I think it would be just so much better if they just stuck to well, for me at least, if they just stuck to having them look like, if they just still looked like, like the Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color version.
Yeah.
And just kept making them.
They know how to do that too, is the biggest thing. They actually know how to do those games.
Well, because when they make, they make the, the new characters, they kind of still have the pixel character models for each Pokemon.
They do. In the Pokebank or whatever it is, the PC. Bill's PC. Welcome back, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Bill.
Bill, no.
There we go. I was wondering if anybody. I'm glad I got you on that. The next thing that they announced, now that we're through like the actual like hard questions and the big announcement, that was their big announcement, was Pokemon Legends ZA coming later this year. They did another teaser trailer kind of situation for Pokemon Unite. I know Chris has talked a little bit about Pokemon Unite. You like Pokemon Unite, right?
Love Pokemon Unite. Yeah. This
What's
is like
coming?
kind of like the first MOBA I've ever played. Also, maybe not. Well, maybe. I mean, Overwatch I don't think counts, does it? But anyway.
Yeah, that's more like hero shooter vibes nowadays.
But let me ask you this. When I saw this, I thought, because I thought for sure, like, this is my first thought when I saw this Pokemon Unite trailer. I was like, before I saw this, I was like talking to Dash because Dash is really into Marvel Rivals right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he wants Miles Morales to come in. And then I saw this trailer with Raichu, and I was like, we got Pikachu, and now we got Raichu, and I was like, maybe we don't need Miles Morales.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I don't disagree. I mean, Miles is pretty much Spider-Man with electric powers, right? Like that's his biggest thing.
Invisible. He can go invisible for a little bit.
Well, we've already got one
Swinging
invisible
around.
lady, and she's the best one in there. She hot.
Yeah.
Invisible woman, shout out to you.
We're just gonna end up talking about Marvel Rivals if we don't.
Isn't that
stop.
Marvel
But yeah,
Rivals Rewind?
yeah. But yeah, so I
Alcremie.
I mean Psyduck came out. I played as Psyduck. I mean Psyduck, now that I think about it, Psyduck came out a while ago.
Yeah, we covered it on this channel. But it was a long time ago, I feel like.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter is the flavor of the week now. Rivals is dead. They've killed Rivals. No, it'll be back. It'll be back. They're gonna drop, the new characters. Everybody will be back on it, and then they'll jump back in. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Plus, Dash plays it every night. Although I have been playing Marvel or Monster Hunter Wilds. But yeah, Marvel Rivals. Dash and I will play that. We play a couple matches a week. But in terms of Pokemon Unite, by golly, I'm not sure like what characters they could add to get me excited to like dive back in. I haven't played
Ash
it in a
Ketchum.
minute. Okay.
Just put a full-on
Just have him
trainer
running around.
in there with all these Pokemon trying to kill him. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I don't like Suicune, Alolan Raichu, Alcremie. Those are cool. I don't know. Like, I don't know that I do have a favorite Pokemon. Out of the new ones, it's Tinkaton. Out of the old ones, Sandslash. There's just not. It doesn't get me hyped like Smash Bros character announcements do. That is the difference. Is it just doesn't get me hyped like Smash Bros character announcements, because it's almost partly because there's a level of surprise with Smash Bros character announcements that Pokemon can't do. Like, they literally, unless they add Ash Ketchum, that'd be hilarious, and then I might actually get a little bit of excited about it. But it's like, you name any Pokemon, doesn't matter. Mewtwo's coming. Okay, well, cool. It's Pokemon. I kind of expected Mewtwo to be in there.
Yeah. I do also get kind of almost bummed out when they announce a new Smash character and it's a Pokemon. I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Well, what's his name? What was the last one?
Incineroar?
Incineroar, yeah.
I think it was Incineroar.
But I remember because before.
Well, that wasn't even a Pokemon I wasn't familiar with, is the biggest problem.
Right. But before they announced them, I think there was like a rumor that there was like, it was going to be 2 other characters. And then instead we got, I think, Incineroar and Ken, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Ken edition was really disappointing to a lot of people. Ken, Terry. I think people really weren't looking forward to that as much, partly because Terry was from the King of Fighters series, which really wasn't all that popular here.
Yeah. I mean, I would take Sub-Zero or Scorpion, though.
Yeah, I would have been so stoked to see Sub-Zero or Scorpion. Like, it just would have been so crazy cool, like, very different. But that's a very Americanized fighting game, right? Like, I'm sure it's popular in Japan, but not to the level like King of Fighters is, or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do or announce for Pokemon Unite to get me excited, except for, I'll tell you one thing they could do.
What's that?
That would get me excited about it for at least a week. Bring it to Steam. Put it on Steam. Let me play it on the Steam Deck.
It's so funny.
And I would play it again. I mean, but I don't think there's any character they could announce that would get me hyped for it.
And here's the characters. All 1001 Pokemon are coming to Pokemon Unite. Choose your fighter, and that's it. Like, just release them all at once. It'll be fine.
They're all coming.
Yep, you can be whichever Pokemon you want. It doesn't matter. You name it. You can be it. I don't know. I'm just not all that stoked about Pokemon Unite, and I don't know many people that are. I know it's not a bad game. I just know it's just not exciting, you know? The next thing that they did announce is this thing, which is the big secret game. This is the thing we didn't know was coming.
Oh, I was so excited. I was like, oh gosh, look how good that looked. Like they're showing off the Game Boy, and then as they just kept going, I was like,
was it like, oh no, this is my prediction. They're gonna link cable Pokemon Stadium.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh snap, and then I was like, no, never mind. They're just showing all of them.
This is called Pokemon Champions.
Yeah.
It's an online battle simulator, essentially. You can go online, battle your friends, import your Pokemon from all of your games. Even Pokemon Go. You can import your Pokemon from, and it's cool. But the battles are realistically not the thing I played Pokemon Stadium, right? So I played Pokemon Stadium way back in the day. I did the battles the right way, importing my own Pokemon into the game to play through the challenges that it set forth. But I did not get as much playtime out of the battles as I did the minigames. I just don't care about the battle system.
You played all the minigames a lot?
Oh, I played tons. And so that was like one of the very few games Sierra would play with me too, growing up, my sister. It was one of the few games Sierra would play with me, and we'd play the minigames all the time. My favorite one was the Hitmontop one from Pokemon 2. Pokemon Stadium 2, where you would, it was like Beyblades, essentially.
I have it on good authority. Her favorite game of all time is Pokemon Snap.
Is that true? Is that what she said? Does she claim this?
That's what, yeah, I mean, that's what she said.
I wonder if she's out there listening right now.
Yeah, she's probably listening. Of course she's listening. Why wouldn't she be listening?
She's got us lurking in the background. She'd crush you in the frozen section.
What?
She'd kill you if she had to.
No, it was... listen, when I say I have it on good authority, that's what she told me her favorite game is of all time. Pokemon Snap.
Whoa. She says. She is listening. Look at her go.
Yeah. Well, she might have gotten tipped off.
I see.
But yeah. That's true. See? Look at
that.
Her
favorite video game of all time is Pokemon Snap?
Yeah. Pokemon Snap.
I guess I'm just going to have to do a Pokemon Snap stream sometime and get her on here. We'll find out. We'll find out if she's good at it anymore.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't think she still wants to play Pokemon Snap. She just...
No, she said yes. She said yes. Okay, we'll wait and see.
There you go.
Pokemon Champions, though, how do you feel about it? Is it like ticking any boxes for you? It really wasn't for me.
I'm a better Pokemon photographer than Courtney.
Are you a better Pokemon photographer than Courtney as a person photographer?
She's like going to throw apples. The thing is, I'm excited to see this happen because she's going to, first of all, not remember any of the buttons. None of them.
I mean, to be fair, let's be realistic and fair about this. The controller is built like this. Like, do you really expect her this many years later to understand how to even hold this?
Okay, well, wait. Here's the thing. You get that controller, give it to anybody, and they will undoubtedly not know. It'll be like handing someone, a rotary phone. It's just not something.
It's like, where do you put your hands? Where do you put your hands?
She's going to have it on the desk in front of her because she can't hold that thing.
It's like an NES Advantage.
Yeah. It's going to weigh her arms down. But what was your question you asked me?
Pokemon Champions, is it ticking any boxes for you? Are you excited about it? Are you just going to play it one time and then be done with it like you did Pokemon TCG Pocket?
Yeah, probably. I'll check it out for sure. But yeah, I don't think the things that excite me about Pokemon are not, like you said, not the battle systems.
Yeah, which should be the most exciting part. That's like the one thing that actually happens in that game, but it's not the most exciting part.
Yeah. Well, here's what happens. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to get them all. I'm going to get every single one. And if something happens where it comes up and it's like, oh, you need to do something very specific to get a certain one.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
I
need to
can't
trade this Pokemon to a friend without a link cable? How are you doing it?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, I think it was like Scarlet and Violet. I got a Japanese whatever his name is. What's the blob? What's his name?
Ditto?
Ditto. I got like a Japanese Ditto.
There's so many blob Pokemon. I don't know how I knew what you were talking about. Like we're sharing the same brain cell right now or something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the Japanese, you had to get like Ditto from another region to increase your odds of getting a shiny Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I had that there, and I was just running Ditto through the ringer. He was just
Poor Ditto.
cranking out babies. Yeah.
Poor Ditto.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a milking farm. It was wild.
Speaking of milk, there's also this. That's not milk. There's a bunch of
Pardon?
apple. There's a bunch of apple themed desserts coming to
Okay,
Pokemon
sure,
Cafe
yeah.
Remix. What a segue. Flapple and Appleton. You can complete the event starting Friday, February 28th. Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley will gradually do things. You can log in now to get Pikachu in its Sweets outfit. I don't know how that game continues to get updated. I'm just gonna be honest. Like I've never played that. Like I've never played Pokemon Cafe Remix, and I have never had any desire to.
I can't remember. Was that on 3DS too?
It was on
Or only
mobile
on
phones
mobile
and Switch. Yeah, it was on mobile phones and Switch.
Okay.
You've never even heard of it until this direct? I think it's because every time we've covered a Pokemon Presents on here, I've actually objectively, purposely not talked about it. Because nobody cares about Pokemon Cafe Remix. Like, I don't... Why does it still keep getting airtime? Like, it just... What is it?
Yeah, there must be a lot of people. So, basically, you run a little cafe, and then Pokemon come to the cafe and order drinks, and then in order to make the drinks you have to it's kind of like a match game, but instead you're like moving them around to spin them around to get them all to be connected, and then once they touch each other they're kind of like connected, and then you let go of the touch screen or whatever, and then boom, they all disappear, and then it's like clears out the space, right? And then as you make more,
So is it like,
they become a more comfortable customer, and then eventually you can get them to come and work for you, and then you unlock that Pokemon. And it's kind of like how you unlock the Pokemon in that game.
Is it like Candy Crush with like relationship dynamics?
Well, yeah, kind of, but instead of just, it's not like a match 3 where you just swipe. Like just rotate 2 separate pieces. You're moving a bunch of them at once. It's actually pretty fun to play, but I could see not being into it. But it's also one of those like simple games to play. I remember
like a time wasting. It's very mobile game centric, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I remember there was like
I don't know. I played a lot of Game & Watch.
Candy Crush is the one I'm thinking of, right? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, my boy's mother, she the mother of my beautiful children, she was hardcore into Candy Crush, and she the whole time she would be playing it, and then like she would stop playing it for like she would be sitting there playing for like an hour or something while we watched the show, and she was like, I don't know why I keep playing this game, but she's like, I delete it, and then the next day I will re-download it because I just feel the need to go back to it. And I feel like that's what's happening with Pokemon Cafe is just they're just creating addicts, you know?
Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
too funny. Oh
Yeah.
man. You know, the Pokemon is really good at creating addicts. I'll be completely honest. It is exactly what they do. See previous comment about dopamine.
Yeah.
Pokemon Concierge, probably the cutest, most cozy animation on Netflix, with some of your favorite, most nostalgia-inducing characters. I watched this series back when it launched on Netflix. It was really good.
Yeah. Not enough.
New episodes coming.
They were very short. They were like, well, like
5 to 15
8
minutes.
Yeah. Season 1 is on YouTube now, right?
Mm-hmm. This season
and then
is
the
exclusive.
new seasons, well, it was exclusive, but they're just now putting it on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
to like so that everyone can watch it. But yeah,
For a limited
like-
time. They disappear
Yeah.
on March 9th. So if you haven't
Yeah.
watched Pokemon Concierge, you have like a week.
not too bad. But yeah, I just like the way it looks and the whole style of it. I really liked that series.
Mhm.
Speaking of series, Daredevil.
Yep, we
Shout out to-
got 2 more things we got to get through, and then we can go watch Daredevil. Pokemon Concierge, really good. Go watch it. It's free on YouTube. New season's coming out in September. Pokemon Sleep, for anyone who's still using this, I tried it out one time. My
I
sleep
did, yeah.
schedule is screwed. Like I can't catch a Pokemon to save my life. But Pokemon Sleep is getting Cresselia versus Darkrai in the Pokemon Sleep stuff. I'm still not even entirely positive how it works because I was so bad at sleeping. But if you're using it, get some
Yeah.
stuff. I was more
Get
into
some
Pokemon
Pokemon.
Smile than Pokemon Sleep. And that being said, just brushing your teeth real good. But that game was definitely made for kids. Pokemon Smile
for
was.
sure. Yeah.
Because when I tried to do it, it couldn't even detect that I was brushing my teeth because my face is too big. So I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
okay.
got a big face. Yeah.
Yep, got a big adult face.
Got a
And then
big face, but we love it. You know?
another game that I love you. Another game that I'm just not. I can't tell you what this game is about. It's Pokemon Masters EX. Chris and I were talking
never
about this.
even downloaded it.
No,
Yeah.
we were talking about this during the pre-show, and it was like, it looks sick. And every time they do like a presentation, it looks freaking amazing. But I don't know what it is at all. And I kind of
Right.
like put it in that vibe of like Fire Emblem, maybe Fire Emblem Heroes. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. But it's getting an update, a 5.5 year celebration. Don't understand why they're doing a
Wow.
half year.
I keep telling myself if it were to ever come to the Switch, you know, I would play it, but they never do, so I don't have to worry about it.
But that's it for the Pokemon Presents. Kind of meh. Again, I mean, the best thing about the Pokemon Presents is we got to have a very serious discussion about whether or not we're too old for Pokemon anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You guys let us know what you thought about the Pokemon Presents in the comment section over on YouTube, or I mean, you've told us now pretty much. What did you think about it in the live chat? Who knows? You tell us. We'll let everyone over on YouTube know that everyone here thought it sucked. We're gonna go to the fast forward. Is it gonna play?
Did it play?
It does that every other week rather, not every single week. It didn't play. What do we got coming out on the Fest Forward, Chris?
I'll tell you what, we got in just 2 days on Thursday, we have Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remastered. It is Gate Rune and Dunin Unification Wars. It's crazy. I don't know.
Finally a good game.
Yeah, finally a good game. Terrible title. But reports have come out that it runs really well and performs really well on the Switch, which is great to hear.
Great to hear that a PlayStation 1 game's running really well on the Switch.
Well, yeah, especially since so many people seem to have a hard time of making, their old games run well enough.
Mm-hmm. Looking at you, Dragon Age. Or not Dragon Age, my gosh. Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, right. And then what was there was a couple of them. The Tales games didn't run very well when it first came out. They had to put out like an announcement that they're coming out with anyway, yeah. I love Suikoden 1 and 2, and it's just so good. It's a turn-based RPG, if anyone doesn't know about that, where it does that thing that I love where in the game, like, you kind of start off like in a rundown kind of base castle, and then as you go around and unlock new people, you bring them back to the base with you, and then like your town and base start to get improved over time based on you bringing in these people. And yeah, I just love it.
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And it looks like they did a really good job of just kind of maintaining the overall vibe of the game and not really changing a whole lot.
Right.
They're not doing that HD 2D-ification.
No.
Kind of sick of that gimmick, to be honest. Just give me my old game back.
I'll tell you what, like the way this game looks, I don't know what it is, something about like PS1, GBA, like, like Golden Sun, just like that ugly kind of, kind of like a mixture between like polygons and pixels, and yeah,
pixels and paint backgrounds. Pixels and painted backgrounds.
Pixels and paint. Yeah, but looking forward to that. But I will say it's $49.99. So
$49.99 for two of the greatest JRPGs of all time, though.
Yeah, exactly.
In one package, that's $25 a piece. It's worth it in my opinion. That is one of the few times I will say, if you don't own this originally, you don't want to spend the millions of dollars it costs to get the original copy, this is the best way to do it. Pre-order bonuses below are benefits given to players that purchase it before it is out. 57,300 potch, Fortune Orb ×1, and a Prosperity Orb ×1. And you can choose whether to start the game with DLC pack in your possession at the beginning of new game for both Suikoden. I can't. Suikoden. Sorry, Suikoden 1 and 2. Potch is in-game currency. Fortune Orb doubles the experience gained by the character that bears it. Prosperity Orb doubles potch gained when winning a battle with the character that bears it. Suikoden 1's MC cannot bear both runes. Main character, just to kind of catch you up on that lingo, what MC stands for. This content isn't included in this benefit, and it can be obtained during gameplay too. So, that is super cool. Go check it out. What else?
And that is, I haven't played on the Steam Deck, but looking forward to. Glad to see that it runs well on the Switch. Then we got Beyond the Ice Palace 2. Beyond the Ice Palace, I guess, was a Commodore 64 game, and they went back and got, I don't know who it was, but somebody went and got the rights to it, and it was Commodore 64, Atari ST, and like the ZX Spectrum, and it was like when it first came out, Beyond the Ice Palace. And then they brought this, now they got this one, and this is kind of like a sort of like a Metroidvania type of game. I mean, some would call it. I mean, I wouldn't, but some would call it a Metroidvania.
It's giving me some Castlevania vibes with that artwork that they have featured on the cover.
Yeah.
Dead Cellsy too. Kind of looks a little Dead Cellsy.
Yeah, well,
And Blasphemous.
Okay. Yeah, so it kind of like goes for that blasphemous look, because you're killing the skulls. I've played it. You're killing the souls, right? The skulls, like skeletons, and they kind of like crumble like they do in Castlevania, but then they just pop right back up. But if you run up to them and hit like right bumper or R, you run up to them, hit R, you smash them on the ground, and it's almost like those like kills that they have in Blasphemous. It kind of goes for that
Execution. Fatality.
all right, yeah. And so instead of like getting experience points, you find these crystals that you can either find or buy at shops, and then you get them, and then you upgrade them, and then the more you upgrade, if you let's say like every 2 or 3 that you do for each one, like whether it's vitality or physicality, power, stuff like that, they will give you bonuses on top of the leveling it up, and so you can get those along the way. Combat is pretty good. If you're looking for like a game like this, I think you'll end up liking it. But yeah, this is $19.99, but it's on sale until it comes out on the release day. After it comes out, it will be back up to $19.99, but right now it's $17.99 on sale. And it is coming out next Tuesday, so 1 week from today. It's only actually 779 megabytes, which is pretty wild.
That is tiny. That is tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny in today's day and age. It's crazy. Man. Well, that's your Pokemon Presents. We got a lot more content out of it than Pokemon did.
Right, yeah.
If you wanted to...
Happy anniversary, Switch.
Happy 8th birthday. Happy 8th birthday to the Nintendo Switch. But when you mentioned it to me, I was like, we could do a duo topic episode. I'm glad we didn't. This was a lot to talk about.
Right, yeah.
Even though...
just talk about how their 8th year is going to be their worst.
God. It absolutely is, isn't it?
In terms of the Switch one, at least.
There's nothing coming out, including everything that was mentioned in the Pokemon Presents.
They grow up so fast. Yeah.
Chris, where can they find you, my friend?
Super Nintendo on pretty much everything. How about you?
You can find me under our place. Go to my website. Find all my social media garbage. I do have a charity event that is going on. It started on Saturday. I didn't get to do my kickoff event because my internet screwed up. So we actually had the kickoff event on Sunday for it. It is a Mario Mania charity where I play Mario games all month long in a weird timeline style release order. Not release order, my apologies, timeline order, where we start at Mario's birth, where he's in Yoshi's Island. And we go all the way to his death and in Super Mario Bros. 2, and then we play Super Mario Bros. 3 because it's all the stage play, as confirmed by Miyamoto-san. But, that being said, if you would like to donate to it, there is a Tiltify for it that is available. You can find that Tiltify over on my channel. All of the money that is being made this month is being given to March of Dimes, which is an organization that helps make sure moms and babies have the best start that they can possibly get in their early stages of becoming a family, or if they've already become a family and they're having a second born. Basically, they try to combat infant mortality rates and make sure people are educated and have resources. So if you'd like to donate, you can do so there. And here are links to all of our social media garbage here for the show. That being said, you can catch all of our past episodes over on YouTube at youtube.com/@the Nintendo Rewind. Visit our website for links to all of the stuff that I've linked in the live chat there, and consider supporting the show through memberships on our site where we get bonus content. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can catch us live weekly Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, take care. Be kind. Please rewind. I almost said take care, brush your hair. Take care, brush your hair.
Take care, brush your hair.
Be kind.
Mother trucker.
Please rewind. We'll get you guys on the plus side. Peace.
Bye.